Most people look at $1,247 in their account and see failure, a sign they're behind, proof that something went wrong. But what if that number, that tight, uncomfortable, barely enough number, is actually the most important financial moment of your entire life? Not because of what it is, because of what it forces you to become. You're 23, student loans sitting at $31,000, a credit card balance you don't like to think about, a direct deposit coming Friday that's already allocated before it lands. You calculate everything, not because you're anxious by nature, but because the math is always running. Grocery store, gas station, whether you can justify the $14 lunch or need to eat what's in the fridge. This is what financial pressure actually feels like. Not dramatic, not a crisis, just a permanent low-level calculation underneath every decision you make. And here's the first thing nobody tells you. Everyone around you is doing the same math. They're just not saying it out loud. The people who eventually build real wealth didn't start with opportunity or connections or a trust fund. They started with exactly this, with discomfort, with constraint, and with a decision to pay attention. Because constraint, if you let it, teaches you something that comfort never will. It teaches you that every dollar is a decision, and decisions made consistently over time are the entire game.
Rule 1. At zero, money is emotional, and emotional decisions compound in the wrong direction. You get a raise, not a big one, $6,000 a year before tax, which arrives as roughly $387 extra per month. You feel the relief immediately. Then the car needs repairs, then an unexpected bill, and you learn what every person at this level eventually learns. Expenses expand to fill whatever space you create. The raise didn't change your situation, it just revealed your habits. So you do something different. You stop spending the difference and start directing it. You pay off the smallest debt first, $1,200 on a card. The balance hit zero. You stare at it, and for the first time you feel something shift. Because a number moved in the right direction because of a choice you made. Not luck, not a windfall, a choice. That moment is more valuable than the $1,200. You cross $10,000 in savings at 26. First time in your life you've had 5 figures. You check it constantly, not from fear but from disbelief. You don't move it, you just let it exist. And something psychological changes. You start reading. Not motivational content, actual books about how capital works, how markets behave, how wealthy people think about money differently than everyone else. You open a brokerage account. You invest $1,500. The market dips the next week. You almost pull out. You don't. That decision, staying in when it's uncomfortable, turns out to be more important than any stock you'll ever pick.
Rule 2. A salary is a ceiling dressed up as a floor. At $68,000 a year, with $40,000 saved, you feel stable, competent. You're doing everything the advice columns tell you to do, maxing contributions, building reserves, avoiding lifestyle inflation. Then one evening, you run the honest projections, all the way out, 40 years forward, and the number at the end is fine, comfortable, but it is not what you want, and you can't unsee it. This is the competence plateau. You're good at surviving. You're not yet building. So you start something on the side, a skill you already have turned into a service. You don't announce it, you don't brand it, you just start. $400 the first month, then $900, then $1,700. You reinvest everything for over a year. No upgrades, no celebrations, no lifestyle creep. And slowly something remarkable happens. Your income stops being a single number and becomes a system. Multiple inputs, some active, some not. Your net worth crosses $80,000. Then $110,000. The gap between where you are and where a salary alone would have taken you becomes visible, measurable. That gap is where leverage lives.
By your early 30s, your investments return more in a single year than some people earn at their jobs. Not because you got lucky, because you started, stayed consistent, and let time do the work you couldn't do manually. You understand now, not theoretically, but physically, what an asset is. Something that earns while you're not working. Your relationship with time changes permanently. Every hour becomes a question. Is this moving something forward, or is it just spending time? Rule 3.
Below $500,000, you're building assets. Above it, assets start building each other. At $150,000 in net worth, you start saying no to things that used to be automatic yeses. Expensive group trips where everyone splits equally and you'd be covering others. Business ideas from friends who don't understand cash flow. Lifestyle upgrades that look like rewards but are actually anchors. The friction in some relationships is real. You feel it. You say no anyway, because you've learned the difference between spending money to belong and protecting capital to build options. At $300,000, something shifts in how you think about risk. You've had investments gain $22,000. You've had others lose $9,000. The loss doesn't break you because you understand that staying in the game is the strategy, not avoiding risk, choosing which risks are worth sitting with. Rule 4. Wealth is not what you accumulate, it's what you no longer have to do.
The day your net worth crosses $1 million is a Tuesday. Nothing ceremonial about it. You check the number, you sit with it for a moment. You expected it to feel transformed. Instead, you feel something quieter, a clarity. Because $1 million at a 4% return produces $40,000 a year. That's not freedom. That's a starting point. The milestone was never the destination. It was the proof that the approach works. At $2 million, money stops producing anxiety. For the first time in your adult life, it's simply a resource, like time, like energy, like attention. You stop monitoring your checking balance and start thinking about allocation. Where is capital positioned? What is it returning? What are you not seeing? You take 3 weeks away. You don't check messages for 5 days of it. That's the real metric, not the account balance. The 5 days. By $5 million, you're not working for money anymore. Money is working, and you're working on positioning. Which risks to hold, which to exit, which markets are moving before most people can see it. You meet people managing $20 million, $50 million. You study how they think, not what they own. The pace is different. The patience is longer. They are not trying to win every hand. They're trying to stay at the table longer than everyone else.
Rule 5. Above $10 million, your reputation becomes a financial instrument. Doors open not because you knocked, but because of what you've built and what you represent. The conversations happen in smaller rooms. No name badges, no pitching, just people with capital and pattern recognition working through problems together. And somewhere in this, something else changes too. The distance between your decisions and their human consequences grows. You feel it. The ethical weight of operating at scale is real, and pretending otherwise costs you more than money. The people who last at this level, who build something that actually means something, are the ones who never stop asking whether the machine they built is pointed in the right direction. Here's what I want you to take from this, wherever you are right now. The $1,247 balance is not a verdict. It's a starting condition. What matters is what you decide to learn from it, and whether you start making decisions based on where you want to be, not just where you are. The money compounds, your thinking compounds, your habits compound, your options compound. It always starts with an uncomfortable number. It always will. The question is what you do next.
Subscribe to the channel if you want to understand money better than most people around you. Here you will learn not just to earn, but to manage your finances so that they work for you. Watch the next video and take another step towards financial freedom.